Yeah, that's interesting insight into the mindset that might be leading to this score.
Welcome to the LSAT shortcut. My LR is solid at -2 to -5, but my RC is stuck at -9 to -11. Whoa. I understand the passage, but I keep picking the least wrong answer and getting it wrong. It's not a timing issue. Interesting. Now, if you were picking the least wrong answer and getting it wrong, I think that would be a -0 then. What you're focusing on is picking the least wrong answer. And then that strategy is leading to this score instead of maybe focusing on like picking a right answer, right? Instead, you're trying to eliminate answer choices instead of identifying an answer choice that looks good to you.
Which I think one big difference there for RC is whether or not you're going into the answer choices with even just a loose prephrase, a loose prediction of what you're looking for in the right answer. And of course you can always do that. They have plenty of like open-ended, which was stated in the passage, what is implied by the passage. But I think for a lot of the RC questions, you're able to at least do some sort of pre-work going in. Think about where in the passage you might get your evidence for that. If they're asking what's the purpose of a paragraph, definitely have an idea in your brain already. Hopefully that was something that you were paying attention to up front because you're pausing, you're making your little low resolution summaries, a few words to capture the purpose of each paragraph. That's the kind of stuff that you want to kind of invest your time up front doing, invest your time before you even look at those answer choices. Then you have an idea of what you're looking for in the right answer. You're not just pulled in every which direction by these wrong answers, trying to, pick the one that seems least wrong. So that's interesting insight into the mindset that might be leading to this score.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's probably if you really do understand the passage, for the most part, as Ben mentioned, you won't know. It's not that you'll know exactly what a right answer choice is going to say, but as Ben mentioned, you have some idea of where a right answer choice will go, right? So this philosopher would agree with which of the following. No way for you to know what the answer choice will actually say. It's so open-ended, but you'll have an idea of what do I know about this philosopher? They like the color red. They believe free will is not real, and that anarchy is the way. Something along those lines. I'm just making those up, and so you'd say okay, I'm looking for those three things. Right, or a couple of those three things in an answer choice. Another thing I would say too, and I always mention this, is that often when we are looking at an answer choice or when we first start doing RC, it feels like what we need to pick is the most highly detailed answer that seems to fit the passage. That is usually not what you need to do, right? Because usually what happens is that detail is an opportunity for error. And so when you're looking at an answer choice, it's usually better to pick answers that I don't want to say feel irrelevant to the passage, but feel almost like an under inference, right? Where you'd be there's no way they would ask me about this. This is not it's simple, right? I'm thinking back to this passage about the geology of oceans and how the ocean's floor are moving because of magma and X, Y, and Z. Yeah, exactly. And the main point question is the main point is about the geology of the ocean floor. And you're or how could it not be about that, right? So you'd say how could it not be about that? But it's so simple that you almost want to pick another answer choice because this is just not enough details. This is really the main point. But it's no, that's actually a good thing that it says that.
Wait, and that's actually a crazy good example because I know for that one, since I literally just did it yesterday, the right answer is pretty straightforward to the main point for that passage. It's just two new discoveries led to this change. A really tempting trap answer, I think, comes a little bit earlier than that and it adds more detail that makes people like it, but it actually makes it wrong. It's talking about how the ocean floor was formed many millions of years ago. And you're wait, hold on. I'm not going to read that too fast and make myself think that is what we actually just talked about. That's actually detail that wasn't even in there. And so getting critical with that extra detail that they throw in there, pausing every couple words with the answer choice. Is everything supported by the passage? That's a lot of the advice that we would give there. But also just knowing those patterns that they like to use. Pattern recognition is so much of getting better at this test, knowing that they love to trip you up with strong unsupported language, more details than actually supported by the passage, can be hopefully a helpful tool for you to weed through those trap answers more quickly.
But other than that, comment, and subscribe.
And leave some questions down below in our YouTube comments if you want your question answered.
Ciao.
Bye.